Thank you for the opportunity to discuss our MarkStrat simulation experience as well as our brands, Rock and Roll. My name is Lisette Roman, and my co-partner in this venture is Miguel Roman Garcia. Overall, our company did well in the Sonites market. At the start of the simulation, we identified that we had a strong brand in rock that appealed to the professionals, ironers, and brand awareness was around 49%. Rock was priced adequately for the segments that it targeted. It was in proximity to both segments, and during period one, decisions we tried to compromise by trying to position for both segments, and our perceptual objectives ranked 4 during the period for rock. After forecasting production for rock based on period 0, we realized 2 things. First, we did not have a solid number for production based on the segment size, purchase intentions, and market share. Although market share was 9% of the market, compared with most, the industry leader at 15%. Secondly, underproduction also proved to be costly in that we were dedicating resources to advertising research that revealed irrelevant data due to deficiency in production of our premier product, Rock. The resources we dedicated for advertising and commercial teams from period 0 to 1 proved to propel brand awareness significantly and position Rock to be the leading product with purchase intentions spiking from 9% to 26%. This trend for Rock continued into periods 2 and 3 until we used the formula that calculated segment size, purchase intentions, and market share. We still underproduced Rock, and the metric for assumptions for production were used as a base for the subsequent periods. In periods 4, 5, and 6, we were finally making aggressive production decisions, and by period 6, we saw a balance in production and demand. This also contributed to Rock's brand contribution after marketing to increase. We attribute Rock's demand, awareness, market share, SPI, purchase intentions, and the perceptual objectives to increasing advertising campaigns, proportionately allocating resources to distribution channels and commercial team, as well as increasing those budgets for every period.
Our other brand, Roll, was not as appealing to the segment that it was designed for, in that it was priced higher than Rock in a way that perception may have positioned it as a higher-end product than Rock. Roll's brand awareness was significant across all 5 segments in period 0. Purchase intentions across all segments were still dismal. After reviewing period 0 reports, we decided that an R&D project was justified for our brand Roll during period 1. Since its brand awareness, position, stock price index, and market share were weaker, we made a decision to modify Roll. Our sister brand Rock appealed to the segments that were willing to pay more for high-end products, but the reality was that Roll could not compete with Rock in this spectrum. We gathered data and realized that the savers were a segment that were going to increase over the next 5 periods. Although the shopper segment were forecasted to increase, we made the decision to modify Roll to meet the savers' expectations for their product. During period 2, we launched Roll as a modified product and made decisions that were safe and conservative. Although we could not price Roll at a price that was attractive to the savers after the launch, we increased awareness, perceptual objectives through an increase in advertising and positioning. After period 2, we were able to price Roll at a significant discount and still maintain adequate profit margins. By period 3, Roll's brand awareness mirrored Most, who was the leader upon the start of the simulation. And by period 3, Roll, Most, and Rock were leading in brand awareness. Purchase intentions for Roll has significantly increased with the savers by increasing brand awareness, targeting a specific segment, perceptual positioning, as well as affordability that was a significant factor across all segments. By period 4, Roll was the leader in brand awareness overall and was a contender to its rival Sonite most. Despite Roll's performance, our company thrived in the industry. Our SPI increased consistently, and we maintained our first place position throughout all 6 periods. Our main objective over the next 6 periods was to maximize the share price index of our division. Our share price index into account several indicators, including net contribution generated, product market share, and the ability to grow the organization's revenue and the quality of projects successfully completed. In this first graph, we see that the SPI for firm Roman continuously increased during periods 1 through 5 and had a slight decrease in period 6. Despite the decrease, our company still maintained its position in the industry. In this next graph, firm Roman SPI performance against its competitors clearly demonstrates that after period 2, Roman's performance increased and outperformed its competitors. The performance of each brand was different, and in general targeted different segments and distribution channels. Rock was primarily focused to target the high earners and professionals. Between period 1 through 6, Rock maintained its market share within these 2 segments. Roman had a 37.3% of the market share of the high earners and 61.4% market share of the professionals. By period 6, Roman had 52.2% of the high earners and 89.7% of the professionals' market share. Initially, Roll was focused to target the shoppers and the savers. However, it was difficult to maximize Roll's features to penetrate both segments. In the end, we realized that the segment that was most compatible with Roll was the savers. In period 1, our company only had a 0.5% of the market share for the savers, and by period 6, we had increased to 25.2%.
The keys to our company's success were advertising, commercial team, R&D projects to modify Roll, price per Roll, reports each period, lost sales, production performance. For advertising, by investing in advertising, our company was able to increase the brand awareness and make consumers familiar with the characteristics of our product, including the value they would obtain for the retail price. Commercial team, during several periods, we reviewed and reallocated our resources based on segment purchase intentions and how well the brand did in the previous period in a specific distribution channel. Our R&D project to modify Roll. This modification helped the company target favors to ultimately change its position, brand awareness, SPI, and market share. For the price for Roll, adjusting Roll's price made it attractive to segment savers and did not receive negative market reactions. Reports each period. The reports provide insight for future planning and were vital in our decision-making process. Lost sales and production formula. Firm Roman utilized a table during periods 4 to 6 to determine lost sales and production for the next period. During periods, as mentioned, 4 to 6, we utilized Microsoft Excel to get a very good idea of how much to produce for each brand with 20% plus or minus estimate. This slide depicts our table, which we use for periods 5 going into 6. We use it to calculate loss of sales and production by multiplying the segment size times purchase intention, and then multiplying the segment size by market share. Once we had those calculations, we minus those
purchase intentions minus the market share, and came up with the lost sales of the last period. We took the lost sales of the last period and then located how many units we sold last period. We subtracted those two to come up with an anticipated next period production, and again, adding a plus or minus of 20%. The lessons we learned throughout the process of growing our brands, Rock and Roll, were invaluable. Market research is extremely important, as are trends in the market and the deployment of a commercial team to effectively position our brand. Additionally, brand awareness and perception are equally important for marketing to the targeted segments.
If we could go back and do things differently, we definitely would see some of the opportunities that were present. Some of the things we changed and reasons why it relates to our brands are for Rock, the production. By not producing sufficient units, we lost sales and our customers potentially went to other competitors. Also, during period 1, we attempted to position Rock by targeting two segments, the high earners and professionals, when we really should have focused on the professionals. We tried the perceptual objectives to compromise between trying to position them for the professionals and the high earners, and we also did fail at that, and that's a lesson learned. We should have just targeted the professionals. Roll, we played it extremely conservative. Instead of rolling the dice, if you will. We made decisions on gut assumptions instead of on market forecasts, and waited on the results of our modified brand to become more aggressive with the segment we were targeting. By changing our decisions, our company and brands would have been positively impacted. Rock would have increased sales, contribution after marketing share, and would have positively impacted our stock price index. On Roll, we would have increased our market share, brand awareness, and revenue a lot sooner than period 6. During our marketing management class, we learned many terms in key areas of marketing management. The simulation especially highlighted the following concepts. Some of these concepts were segmentation and targeting, product, price, place, and promotion. Segmentation and targeting. The goal of segmentation in consumer markets is to isolate individual characteristics that distinguish one or more segments for a whole market. We try to do this by just targeting one specific segment and allocating advertising resources so that we can increase brand awareness and sales in that area. Our product was attractive to this segment as well, and we should have pretty much focused on the product and the segment. The price should have was in line with the segment in terms of Rock with the professionals and the high earners, as opposed to Roll. Roll was not attractive at all. In terms of place, we looked at shopping habits for all our segments, and we tried to increase our presence in those distribution channels to capitalize on sales. Promotional, we did the most we could with advertising, increasing it by either 4 or more percent, just to increase brand awareness, sales, stock price index, and market share.
On the screen, we're going to show just 3 of the basic graphs that we use. One was brand characteristics. We use this table because it lists the physical attributes of the marketed brands as well as their price and estimated unit cost, both in dollars. The relative importance of price and physical characteristics by segment. This study enables the firm to estimate the relative importance of the price and physical characteristics of the product category. And then the shopping habits. The shopping habit data in the chart represent for each channel the proportion of individuals who would choose that channel when shopping for supplements.
In conclusion, we have enjoyed working with the MarkStrat simulation. It helped to reinforce the key marketing concepts and helped us view the importance of decisions as
Possible and/or future business owners. Thank you for the opportunity to give you an overview of our program and our brand's rock and roll.
10 seconds over.